Assalamu my dudes, and welcome back to PLB Green. Today I'm doing a 3-week update on my moss Hobbiton paludarium, and I'm going to be adding some live animals in the form of some red cherry shrimp. Before I add the shrimp, check out these little weeds. They've been growing up through the moss and they're in scale, so I kind of like them. Even the moss has been going wild, growing across the path here, and even up the left-hand side on the moss cloth. It's gone rampant. Even though the moss is growing up the wall already, I thought I would give it a helping hand. I cut out some extra sheets of it and just pushed it into the moss cloth. The cloth is 100% cotton, so it draws up water from the stream, and when you push moss into it, it just sticks. I added a water heater underneath the rock structure, and you can see the black cord leading up the left-hand side. Bit of an eyesore, so I decided to cover it with a rolled up tube of moss cloth, pushing it into the wire and using a small amount of super glue to make sure the cloth didn't slide down. I continued by adding more detail to the top of this rock structure, laying down more moss cloth, dampening it with dechlorinated water, and laying down a moss surface. To add more detail to the front of the rock mountain, I went and bought some small bits of vine wood to look like dead tree trunks. The vinewood itself is really light in colour and it didn't really fit in with the landscape. I decided to darken the surface using a Citadel brown wash that helped them blend into the landscape more. I repeated this process a couple of times. This one looks like a fallen, dead tree. Continuing with finer details, I made a little stack of firewood here outside the front of the hobbit hole. Added some tiny little lily pads in the form of these floating plants. It's time for shrimp number 1. I've acclimated these guys by floating their bag in the water for 15 minutes. Look at him go, he loves it. Number 2, flip flop, in he goes. They're loving it so far. And my 3rd and final. If these 3 go well, I'm going to be adding more shrimp in the future. I then put in some other small aquatic plants. Check out this guy, I did not expect this. Scaling the waterfall, pulling his bod out of the water and dragging it up against the current all the way to the top, and here he is swimming around in the top river section. Did not expect that, so I thought that was a pretty cool outcome. Here's the final product with all of the small additions. I put a moisture checker in just to see that I was watering my tigerbark ficus enough in their little compartment in the back. But look at this. I'm loving it. The moss is flourishing, the bonsais are growing, and now we've got some little shrimp buddies to keep us company in Hobbiton. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time on PLB Green.